That's where I'm self-conscious. But anyway, hi everybody. Welcome
Hi.
to I Don't Know Though, the show where Joey is self-conscious about how chubby his cheeks are and his double chin, and Noah doesn't like how normal and bland his stupid face is. I mean, he's adorable. Look at him. I love like just the straight face thing. No, it's like the video of Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps doing the pug face thing.
Oh yeah.
It's like he's definitely a pug if anything. But this isn't a podcast where we talk about Aaron Hansen and how he looks like a pug or how we are self-conscious. Well, a little bit how we're self-conscious.
Yeah.
This is a show where people write in all over the internet and we tell them, wait, this is off center.
Oh no. It's also off. Turn on the light so they can get the pizzazz. The other way. Oh, never mind.
They're the same.
Oh yeah. No, the top one. That one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to I Don't Know Though. We just fucked with things that the audio podcast has no idea.
Surprise.
My thing is falling.
I changed my mind.
Wow, we're so ready for this episode, aren't we?
Right.
Okay.
Is it centered?
So, everybody, it's not centered, but it's okay. Everybody writes in on the internet. They ask for help with their problems, whether it be to us, whether it be on Quora, whether it be on Reddit. We get back to them, whether they are going to hear it or not, because we are the most qualified.
We give advice whether they want it.
Exactly. It's yeah. So we're gonna start off with some relationship advice here from Reddit. This is one is titled "My Girlfriend Cheated on Me Last Night." She made out with this guy, with this dude on her bed last night. They didn't have sex. We're juniors in college, and we've been dating for 5 years. We've had some rough patches a few years ago, though. We broke up going into my freshman year because she didn't think she wanted a boyfriend going into college. She hooked up with this other guy for maybe a month, maybe less, and all the while they didn't have sex. She essentially ended up deciding that she wanted to go out with me and cut that guy off. Last night she was at a party. We go to separate schools, and she makes out with this guy on her bed after my friends took her upstairs because she was belligerently drunk. The guy that she cheated with, she works with, and he ends up spending the night with her, and in the morning she tells him to leave. She says that she hardly remembers what happened and texts the guy in the morning to make sure exactly what went down. He said that they only made out, and she sent me screenshots. I have no idea what to do.
That's a whack.
Yeah? What are you going to do with this girl, Noah?
What am I gonna do with her? I don't know. I don't know her. Is she hot? Should that matter? It shouldn't.
It shouldn't, but it does because she's clearly okay with infidelity. Mm-hmm. So, you have a chance, Noah.
Yeah.
I'd say dump her, honestly.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a healthy relationship to me.
Chill.
Have you ever been in a situation where you've maybe made some questionable mistakes while inebriated?
I don't think I have been. I've
I didn't
very rarely been inebriated.
Yeah,
I'm usually very much in control.
Yeah, you're such a sweet little boy. Mm-hmm. I've had these this happen before.
Yikes.
And I don't believe I was never in the relationship when this happened. I have done it with people who have been in relationships. If I was in the relationship, though, I would definitely end it with that person, or I would feel the need that they should end it with me, something like that. It's good that she told you. Like, that feels like at least somewhat nice, but at the same time, there's a level of trust in relationships, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what's the furthest that you think your trust could be pushed?
I don't know. I was wondering, though, is sex and kissing, is that different? Or do they like kind of cross the threshold in the same way? So
for me, there's a line. So we've both grown up in theater, and I'm still very much in the entertainment industry. So if I were to date an actress or a model or something, and they had to pose nude, or they had to like make out with a guy on stage, that's fine to me. Like, that's different. You're doing it for the art.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's not even like, it's not them, it's their character. But in this situation, it doesn't matter to me. It's like, whoa, I mean, you've shown this like infidelity of a sort. Like, unless we explicitly said that we were in a open relationship, then no. It sounds like they're monogamous, and it sounds like you probably don't need to be with her anyways because you guys already broke up once.
For sure.
I've kind of learned that getting back together with exes doesn't generally go well.
No.
Been in that situation a few times. But it's tough, and I'm sorry, but
And this guy, he can't like be pushed around like this. Like, oh, she broke up because she thought, and then she came back and he took her back, and now she's cheating on him.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's another thing. She definitely had sex with guys.
Yeah,
like she told you she didn't, but she definitely banged like so many dudes. Like that's, I mean, I'm not slut shaming by any means. I think that's what college is kind of for, in a sense. I think. So in my,
there's classes in education, and then there's
no. Like it's fuck the education. All right, you're here to figure out your own sexual preferences.
Fuck education. Fuck people.
Fuck people. Don't fuck education. That's how you get in trouble if you're trying to sleep with your professor, unless you actually do. In which case, good job, straight A student. But no, like I would say that you go to separate schools. She's showing these signs of infidelity. I would just, my own personal opinion, if you're doing monogamous stuff, maybe don't. You should definitely have a long talk with her. It seems cut and dry. I don't know. Would you stay with a person who has done this?
I don't think so.
Yeah. How quickly would you just like kick her out?
It'd be pretty quick. It'd be like that conversation, and then I'd decide then. I don't think it'd be drawn out by any means.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it would be... Yeah, they've been dating for 5 years. Jesus Christ. Yeah,
I guess the ads give it 2 days. 5 years equates to an extra day in time. As
you like go into your your shared flat or whatever, and you just get all your Dave Matthews Band CDs, and, and you're like, okay, now we can break up. Now that I know that she's not going to snap my CDs.
That would be so sad.
Yeah, it seems really really cut and dry to me. I'm sorry. I feel for you, because that does suck. I have been cheated on before. It does not feel good.
Oh, I'm sure.
It doesn't feel good to be the person, like the other person is cheating with either, because that's the situation I've been in before. Most of the time, it makes it sound like it's been like a bunch of times that it's happened. No, it's happened twice, both while inebriated, which is and isn't an excuse. There's times when I'm drunk and you don't remember shit. We did a thing the other day where I watched video back from it, and I was like, oh, I don't remember that part at all. And it's very easy to use that as an excuse, so I wouldn't use it very often. But no, I had an experience where it was like, oh, you wake up in the morning and I'm like, you've got a boyfriend.
Yikes.
But another time I found out after the fact, and I was like, oh, I feel terrible. So granted, she probably doesn't feel great. The other guy, if he's a decent person, doesn't feel great. I'd still say probably,
it doesn't really justify anything.
Yeah, the ends don't justify the means there. Sorry, buddy. Don't do LDRs either. That's just my personal preference. It's like my unsolicited advice to throw it in there. I don't do well with long distance relationships because I don't know. I mean, I usually trust the person enough if I'm going to do one, but I'm too needy. I'm just like, yo, give me some fucking snuggles, dog. Right? Like, you're like 2 hours away. How am I supposed to fucking cuddle you right now?
For sure.
I don't know. Do you have any preference with that so far? I mean, I know you don't. You're
long distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know a few cases where long distance has worked out really well, and so it's kind of weird to say like no long distance when it's like two couples that I know are married now, and it's like, so I guess if you know they're the one, and it's like there's no doubt we've been dating for 6 years, and there's nothing that will stop us from that, but it's like, oh, I just love her. She just like feels nice to be around, and it's like, well, actually, she won't be around, so that doesn't matter.
Okay, I gotcha.
So,
well, let's move on from that one to a question titled "How to Be Confident." I'm a 16-year-old male in high school, and I've started to notice I get a little scared pretty easily when talking to people. However, it's mostly when talking to girls in general that fires up my senses. When I'm talking to a guy, I can act confident. But when it's a girl, whether I'm interested in them or not, I end up stammering on my words and acting nervous and weird. I don't know where this came from, but I don't like it. It's like I'm scared that I'll mess up or something, and it'll spread around the school and make me all look like a weirdo. I don't want to spend the rest of my high school years like this. Does anyone have any tips on how to behave normal or act confident? Noah, do you know how to behave normal?
No. Does anyone? What is normal?
What is normal except for another word for boring?
Right. I was wondering, did I submit this question? It feels very relatable to me 5 years ago. So.
This is no. I think is really common.
Mhm.
I think for me it started younger, honestly. I think I was like 14 or 15 when I was like, huh, I feel weird. I just something here ain't right. My body's changing and I don't like it. How did you overcome this? Did you overcome this?
I think we both know the answer to that. No, I did not overcome this. There's
But I don't
to
think
some
you
degree.
like succumb to it though.
No, yeah, there's a difference to that between those two, is overcoming and succumbing. And yeah, I'm just somewhere in the middle. Like, I'm better with it, but I have not solved the problem. And I feel like something that I do is to like not make an event out of something that isn't. So it's like, oh, I'm talking to this girl. It's like, actually, no, I'm just talking to this person. And it's like, oh, I am like trying to impress this person. It's like, no, I am just communicating with them. And so it's like toning things down from like this experience that warrants anxiety to just something that happens all the time.
Okay. So you just like take it, internalize it. That's kind of how I ended up dealing with my anxiety when I was growing up. Because I would do what you said and make this big event out of things. I'd get this horrible pit in my stomach and like start like sweating, and when you're that age you just stank. But like, yeah, I would just get super nervous, and so I found if I like just took some big old meditative breaths and just told myself, well, this is going to happen whether you like it or not, so get over it and do it, and I think there can be a lot be said about that, especially growing up. You'll find that it's useful in many other places, not just talking to girls, but when you move to college and you're going to meet other people, hopefully, or even if you don't go to college, just meeting people in the real world in general, seems to be kind of an issue for a lot of adults, actually.
Oh, for sure.
We were never taught how to make friends outside of our classes and all that. So, you get to college and it gets tough to just talk to strangers and be like, hey, be my friend.
Yeah, like you see like the rise of like social media and like dating apps like Tinder and stuff. It's all because like we want to be connected with the people we know, or we want to force ourselves to connect with people who also want to be connected. We don't want to like take chances by just like talking to people. Yeah,
and I feel like a lot of the avenues for traditionally meeting new people have kind of been shut down by this whole social media era. Not to say that social media is a bad thing. It's not always a good thing, but it's got its ups and downs. But like, no, you can't like go to a bar and meet people anymore. You're weird if you do that, people go to bars in groups now, or go there to meet someone that they met on Tinder, or they met on like some other app. Now, back in the day, your boy used to slide into Facebook DMs all the time. I don't know why I said it like that. Facebook. That made me sound like an old man. It's like, I used to use the Facebook and go to the Walmart all the time. And that's how I met your grandmother. But no, like that's another way I used to do things before, whatever. It's like, oh, hey, this person added me on Facebook. Now I'm going to poke them. And they're going to poke me. And I'm going to poke them. And after about 15 pokes, things are getting pretty saucy. It's like, hey, where you poking me at, huh? And then I just messaged them like, yo. That was my go-to. It was yo, and they'd be like,
how can they resist?
They couldn't. The ladies, they were all over me. Editor,
can we just like edit like a photo of you at 15? I was gonna say,
can we just show my favorite picture of me? The fucking I was a circle.
Yeah.
I had the sweet ass bowl cut and the thin wire glasses and this amazing little like shit eating smile. So long story short, you're 16, you're growing up. Things are gonna be weird for a while. And all you can do is like learn to deal with it. Because I promise you, it's not gonna go anywhere. No. like those awkward feelings stick around forever.
Yeah, and social problems are ones that are gonna like find new avenues to come at you later in life. So
yeah, and like to be successful, it's all about who you know, not just in my industry, but anywhere. Like to have friends so you can be happier. I mean, sometimes people are happier without that, or happier with internet friends. Did you ever have internet friends growing up? People that like were
Nope. My mom was freaking out about like having like these like online people talking to me.
Oh yeah.
And so she'd like restrict like my Xbox like mic access and stuff like that. Like, cause you can just like make it friends only or whatever. So it wasn't like a huge deal. But yeah. So I'd always talk to my friends, and then they'd be like, "Oh, can you hear this person who like is my online friend?" I'd be like, "No, I can't hear him." And so
I met so many people through like Xbox Live and like random Discords when that started growing up. I don't do Discord very much anymore, but like Discord, Omegle. I used to do Omegle all the time. Yeah, I was homeschooled, so I didn't have friends.
Right.
I was just like, oh, well, Omegle.com. Let's see what random ass dicks I can see today. I was like, all right, who's up? All right, that's a penis.
I was
okay.
about to say, did you get victimized on there?
Oh, dude, they were. They probably could have gone to jail.
Yeah.
Because I was a minor. They were. Ooh. But no. So it was like Omegle, and I was homeschooled, but it was online.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom really didn't care. She was like, fuck it, just get in there with all these people. And what's kind of weird about online school is or the one I went to,
mm-hmm.
so they would have like proctored exams like in person. So it's like, oh, go to this Holiday Inn and go to the fucking conference room. And then
the epitome of class.
Yeah, pretty much. And but then they also had these days where there were like fun days.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, hey, the school is paying for us to go to All Star Sports in Wichita. So go there and we're gonna like all have a good time. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great in theory.
Yeah.
Then you realize it's all these like
socially anxious,
yeah.
like homeschooled kids.
Yeah, the socially anxious. But it's not just that. It's like what I realized looking around. So the people who are homeschooled are the ones who couldn't stay in school because like they were too socially awkward and got bullied.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's also the kids who bullied so much that they got kicked out of school. And so it's this weird mishmash of like the wrong people to be together. No. And I'm like, oh no. And so I was just hung around the fat kids.
Yeah.
Because I was like, hey, I got stuff in common with you guys. That other guy over there looks like he's packing some sort of heat. I'm scared. But no, so like, yeah, online friends were always a part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys I started doing YouTube with back in the day was like a guy I to this day never met, but I'm like, hey, I'll go to your college graduation.
Right.
I'll just show up. Although he goes to a bigger school than we go to now.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, oh, your last name starts with an S, huh? That's pretty far down the list.
Yeah, I'll come in halfway through.
Yeah, I'll just come in once they get to like the whatever letter. I suddenly forgot the alphabet. It's like A, B, C, D, whatever.
Yeah, I had to go to University of Texas graduation to sing for my choir, and that was like a 4-hour just of people like just reading names and like running across because they just need to go through as fast as they can.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's
yeah,
so crazy. You remember our graduation?
Oh yeah, all like 20 of us.
Yeah, it was less than 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It took longer for them to set up everything and get ready for it. And like my parents were like, "Oh my God, yeah, we got to get you in there. Get ready,
It's a big occasion."
Yeah, like 40 minutes before. Then we're all like sitting in the auditorium, like, "All right, time to go." Mm-hmm. And then less than 30 minutes later, it's just like everyone. It's like, "Good job, class of 2016."
Right.
And I'm like, "Huh. Well, that was fast." God, what a wacky time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now we're gonna be back to like, I don't even know how many people are in our graduating class. So of course, I don't know how it works because I'm actually a semester behind because I transferred.
Mm-hmm.
But that's neither here nor there. Basically, get over it, make some friends.
Mm-hmm.
I cured his social anxiety.
Yeah, you did.
Congratulations, you're welcome back. So this one, I forgot I chose this one. All right, this one's titled, I'm addicted to jumping on the trampoline.
Nice.
Ever since I was about 13, I'm 16, almost 17, I've been addicted to jumping on the trampoline. I can't exactly pinpoint why I'm obsessed with jumping on the trampoline. It's just something I love to do. When I'm majorly stressed, upset, or even fatigued, I can go outside and jump and just let it all out. However, I feel like it's ruining my life. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I want to do is jump on the trampoline. I'll be at school in classes and my mind is just thinking, trampoline, trampoline, trampoline. However, there are times when I should be doing homework and I find myself wanting to jump on the trampoline or jumping on it actually. I feel like I have no self-control. I'll be out with friends and all I want to do is go out and jump on my trampoline. Even if it's bitterly cold, I'll just bundle up so I can jump on it for 5 or even just 6 minutes. I feel like I'm trapped in this part of my brain that just wants to jump. I could enjoy other hobbies. However, I'm just stuck jumping on my trampoline. I've come here for advice. I posted on another website about a year ago and people treat me as if I'm crazy. Maybe I am, but I want to learn how to limit myself and have self-control and enjoy things in good amounts. Thanks.
Yikes.
So first of all, you're not crazy. You just know how to have fun.
Right?
Trampolines are amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, You had a trampoline.
Oh yeah.
Up. You're a rich white kid.
Yeah.
I did not. I loved going to your house because I was like, oh my god, Noah's got a trampoline.
Noah's there, but actually has a trampoline.
But he has a trampoline, and we can.
Noah's trampoline is there.
Yeah, we can play Star Wars on it.
Yeah, we did. I remember that.
No,
stuff.
Oh my god, what is it about having trampolines? Like, it's literally just a spring bed.
Yeah.
To jump on.
Mm-hmm. We also want to jump on your bed. You're just not allowed to.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. And it's outside, so you can jump as much as you want. You're not supposed to jump with other people. They specifically tell you only one person at a time.
Which is the lamest thing ever.
Yeah. Everybody knows that the best party is like 5 kids on a trampoline.
Oh, yeah.
None of the safety netting around. Like, fuck that.
No.
If you fall out, you're done. That's all there is to it.
Game over. You lost. Natural
Seriously.
selection.
I actually had a thing with a trampoline once when I was a kid. I was hanging out at someone's house. I don't remember where I was. I was really young. I couldn't have been older than like 8, 9. So I'm under the trampoline, and like there's people jumping on top of it, and then I think I like looked up, and one of them landed on my head.
Oh no!
And I just remember distinctly hearing just like all the way down, like my neck and everything just cracked. And I remember it hurt super bad. And then my mom was like, oh my God. Oh.
Yeah.
And then, but then she's like, walk it off. But I was in pain. I guess what had happened was I like compressed my spinal column all through. And it was like, oof. Yeah. And at 9 years old, going to the going to the chiropractor, feels good. So, do you have any advice for this person who thinks that...
It sounds like you might have an addiction problem later in life. Like, if it's starting with trampolines, it can only get harder from there.
Just got an addictive personality.
Yikes.
It's like, don't start drinking.
Yeah,
don't ever touch cigarettes. Like, don't even think about it. You'll just, like, get immediately hooked.
But can you imagine how amazing his life would be if he got, like, a job at, like, Bungee Trampoline Corporation or something?
That'd be amazing. Whoa, he's so good because
he's the most energetic manager every like...
Oh, you could go to like the like aerospace, like jumping, like the trampoline palaces or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like back and forth all day. He's just like the GM. Everyone's like, yeah, I don't understand. He's fucking great. Your calves are just jacked, just so fucking ripped, just from the waist down. Everywhere else up is just like atrophied.
Oh, for sure.
But like just down there, just like, yeah, you get off the trampoline, the world becomes your trampoline. Because his legs are just so fucking strong.
You're bouncing like 20 feet.
You just can jump. He goes to the Olympics and he breaks records. He pole vaults without the pole.
Whoa.
He's that good. Because if he used the pole, it'd be cheating.
Yeah, it would.
Well, I suppose you could just limit yourself to a certain amount of time per day.
Take apart your trampoline. So then, like, when you want to do it, you have to, like, put it back together.
Every time it's like an hour endeavor.
So then it's not worth it anymore. And then you won't think about it so much.
I would never want to take a trampoline away from someone completely.
No.
That's so much.
Yeah. No, just take, like, the legs off. So it's just like, I have to, like, 10-minute setup. I don't know if it's worth it anymore.
Yeah.
That's me when I play Xbox and the wrong disc is in the slot. I'm like, I guess I'm playing this game now.
Well, that's way more extreme. That's another problem you've got. that's such a low threshold. It's like, if I want to play a game,
we handle all problems here.
If I want to play a game, you mean I have to put it in? Like, that's such a 2019 problem because everything we have now is like downloadable content. And so you're just pissed that you have to get up, take a disc out, and put it in.
Stop hating on me. I was getting vulnerable for you.
I'm just saying.
And you just come at me with knives.
I'm coming at you with the truth. It's what friends do, Noah. I'm here for you. I'm here. Fuck. I'm here for you. Touch my hand. Touch my hand. Yeah. No. Well, to answer your problem, get more space on your Xbox and download the games. Also, don't use an Xbox. You troglodyte.
Hey.
Yeah, I guess that's the best. I don't have any more advice for this. I guess yours is just take it apart. Mine is replace it with something else, I guess. Go to the gym. Go work out. Yeah, like that's what I do anyways when I'm feeling.
But it's so sad because trampolines are fun and exercise, and it's ruining his life. Like,
exercise is fun.
What else is there?
Yeah,
We know exercise isn't fun.
What are you talking
People
about?
who say that are liars.
I have plenty of
you
fun
like
exercising.
the feeling afterwards.
It's true,
kind of.
but I kind of.
But nobody's like, man, I just love the feeling of my lungs burning and my muscles cramping.
I mean, I like going to the gym. I think it's like fun to like run sometimes. Like I don't necessarily like running. I guess I more like the idea.
He's lying to you. Stay on your couches.
No, go out there, get fit. Michelle Obama contacted me. She's like, you got to get these kids out there. We noticed that you have like 4 children watching your show. And I was like, damn, Michelle, really? You're talking to me on the phone right now? She's like, go do it. And I'm like, okay. She's like, well, my arms are going to come. She's ripped, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen how strong she is? Her arms are like.
She should be. If you're going to like promote activity, you better be swole.
She's way more fit than I am.
Oh, for sure.
I'm just like, whoa.
I mean, you're not setting the bar very high.
Hey, I'm just saying. I used to be strong.
I'm sorry.
I did powerlifting.
It was a joke, but
no,
it's
it's okay.
hurting him too much. I'm sorry.
I understand.
He's got to collapse.
So I left my milk out overnight. It was about 12 hours total, but I immediately put it back in the fridge. It's been there for 2 days. Is this safe to drink?
That's a good question.
How do you judge whether milk is good?
You sniff it.
But all milk smells bad.
No, you told me this earlier.
No,
all milk does not smell bad.
Milk just smells bad. It just smells like.
But it smells different bad when it's spoiled.
It just smells worse.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But
so
like,
you got to know
but
what
how
the
do you know
standard
when
bad
worse is? Like this could just be like on the edge of worse. This could just be like, I don't. To me, milk. To me, milk just smells.
Thanks, Julian Smith.
Yeah, you're welcome. This just it smells sour. Just all the time.
I don't know what your problem is.
I don't. There's no difference to me between sour cream and milk. Like
Really?
that smells exactly the same.
No, you're weird then.
No, what do you mean?
You're
I'm
not qualified to answer this question. We're not qualified to answer any of these questions.
Well, yeah, that's the point. But still, like,
no, yeah, you smell the milk. That's rule number 1.
He says it smells okay.
Then it's fine.
Okay,
He'll be fine.
How long do you think you can leave milk out?
Leave milk out. He said overnight. 12 hours is what he said. In like a normal temperature, I think that's.
I think
sketchy,
you could leave it
though.
out for longer, because it's been pasteurized and everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could probably do like in a like temperature controlled space, not like in the sun.
Like room temperature.
Yeah, room temperature. You could probably do 24 hours.
96 degrees. 96 degrees.
70 degrees.
I think it's 69. Yeah.
69
degrees. Yeah, I think you could probably leave it out for a couple of days. It's been like homogen.
Anemone.
What's the word I'm thinking of?
He broke us.
Homogeneous.
It's like Westworld when they like break them when like the fly lands on
them.
them or whatever.
Fly on
and
just
like
that's
us.
Doesn't look like anything to me. Okay. Well, yeah. It's been. Yeah.
I think you'll be all right.
Probs.
I'm glad you made me think about this because now I got to question my milk habits now.
All right, we're gonna take a quick ad break really quick and then we'll be right back. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Why do we poop after drinking milk? I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole here.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back from the ad break. You guys saw something or heard something.
Hope not.
So, oh shit. Okay. All right. I feel Hey, welcome back from the ad break. So, I feel pathetic for celebrating some of my victories. What the fuck? This person, some of these things, I'm dyslexic already. And then
just don't know how to write.
Yeah, it's like I didn't have time to edit these beforehand to make it something that I could easily read.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like bad grammar and just out of order anyways. So my brain starts to think it knows what it's saying. And then it gets like 4 words in. It's like, wait a minute. I don't know what this is. Okay. So I just said this to myself and I think it's been holding me back. I've been achieving a lot and sustaining it for the first time in my life, but these things are mostly things that other people have done normally for their whole life, like make a bed or make their bed or have a proper skin routine. I get ashamed, but I'm proud of these things. Anyone else feel like this? Do you have anything that you are proud of that you feel like is just normal to other people?
Well, I did start going to the gym with the help of you.
Yeah.
And that's like something that's like, hey, I'm like, I can run a mile and things like that. And it's like, hey, everyone probably should do that. And a lot of people probably do. And I'm just like, I'm kind of proud of like.
I don't know. I feel like most people don't though. I feel like most people don't go to the gym that much. You know, like
I guess
like a majority of the people I've talked to in college, even like some of these goddamn cuties, you know what I'm saying? They're just like, the gym, gross. And I'm like, you're gonna be unhappy with yourself in like a year because you're a freshman.
You're so mean.
Well, no, that's how it is. Like,
why are you yelling at these freshmen?
I'm not. That's how I was though. Is I was like, the gym, yuck, that's whack. I'm not gonna gain 15 pounds. And then I was right. I gained 60. And so, you know, like, I just feel like not enough people go to the gym or like run. Like, running, gross. There's like fair. Such a stigma against running. Running's good for you. It feels good afterwards.
Yeah.
During, sometimes you're like, holy shit, I can't breathe. When we do sprints, I feel that a lot. Like, we just
our gym isn't temperature controlled well enough, and so it's cold on one side and hot on the other, and it like gives you like some sort of asthma.
It makes me cough like a lot. Well, okay, so I was gonna use our channel for an example of this. Actually, we have late 20s of subscribers now. I'm not gonna say exactly because it fluctuates sometimes, which is something I think I should be proud of. But then you look at other channels that are like, oh, I've got, 10,000 subscribers. Wow, look at me go. I'm just like,
ooh.
But I that's, we have almost 30, and I'm so proud of that. I'm like,
for
holy
sure.
shit.
Me too.
Especially with the fact, like, we started back in end of November. Yeah, like November 18th, I think was our first podcast. And so I'm like, whoa, it hasn't been like that long. And
no, and so that's what I tell myself. It's like, okay, it's only been like 2.5, 3 months. And so it's like, okay, we're getting like 10 subscribers a month. It should be like exponential, you think. So
we should get 20 this month.
Yeah.
And then after that, we'll get 200 a month. And then after 200 a month, we'll get a million.
You can't stop us.
We're
coming at you, Pewdie.
We'll come after. We're going to be bigger than PewDiePie. We're going to be bigger than Jablinski Games. We're going to be bigger than...
I don't know. Jack Black's got a hold on the world. So.
Jack Black has an amazing business model where he just doesn't give a fuck, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna have games next week," and he's never gonna have games. No. I'm convinced that he will never ever play a video game. No.
Like every now and then, he's like, "Yo, watch me play Flappy Bird for 10 seconds." But
he's like, "Look at this. I fucking love Angry Birds." And then I'm sure they paid him whatever. I don't know. I doubt it. Because you have to say. But at the same time, it's just like, what the fuck, Jack Black? Yeah. Like, it's Jablinski Games. He's had like 8 or 9 videos at this point.
Yeah.
And like, they have games in them. Like, they have like pinball or like some old arcade games. But he's been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play Fortnite or whatever. He's like, never has.
No, he hasn't had like a gaming episode where he like sits and like even plays his pinball machine. He like looks at it for a little bit, and then he's like, hey, let's look at my son and put on weird graphics on him and stuff.
And then there was what was the other thing? It was like, oh, he said that somebody stole his Delgado. First of all right, Jack Black, you're memeing a little bit too hard. Okay, it's starting to show. Yeah, we know Jack Black is actually one of the first subscribers on our channel. So if you're a fan of Jack Black and Kung Fu Panda, you should definitely spread this around in the Kung Fu Panda subreddit. I've been trying to break into that subreddit for years, man. That shit is rock solid. You cannot get over it. It's like the Great Wall of China to get in there. I'm telling you. They have a really specific set of rules, and I break them every time. Like, all right, rule number 1, don't talk about Shrek. I'm like,
but it's Shrek.
But it's Shrek. And they're like, Jack Black's not in Shrek. I'm like, it doesn't matter.
It's like the same rules for your Tinder that you don't follow. Don't talk about Shrek, and you're like, they have to hear about it.
No. Shrek is love. Shrek is life. God, that's such an old meme. I shouldn't even. I'm showing my age there.
I'm sorry.
Do you think that those old memes? Sorry, just like tangent. Do you think those old memes like that are gonna come back around? Because like, there's they did Sergio on a grape thing. That video is like 9 years old or whatever.
But yeah, like those ones, like people have like heard of or seen, so I don't think so. Whereas like,
but it's like a whole new era. Like,
it's like new people. Yeah. Because I see like repeat memes, and I'm like, I saw that years ago. I'm like, oh wait, but there's a bunch of people who hadn't. Yeah, and they're probably like, ha ha ha.
Like rage comics, like those might come back around someday. I mean, the internet culture is too young to know like exactly what trends will come back around, because humans by nature will do this thing where we're like, excuse me, where we just repeat trends. Like everything retro or everything old becomes new again, and just becomes retro because it's cool and old.
I don't know if that's how internet will work. Maybe, but internet seems like a different genre than most things.
Different medium altogether.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just side tangent. But turns out actually I didn't have that many questions this episode.
Oh no. Do we have one more?
Actually, well, I guess we hold on. Let me see here. Here I have one question. I didn't even proofread it. Let's just see what it says.
On a whim.
My closest friend won't talk to me anymore. I've been on a brotherly level connection with this friend for years now. He practically lived at my house for durations over the summer in high school. He was always fun to be around, and we would take trips down to the beach and go to parties together. We were truly close-knit as brothers. Recently, he has had a bad relationship, and since then, he's been acting very differently. He deleted all of his social media, and I'm trying to text him, but I get left on red. I don't know why he'd push me away like this. I've always been there for him, and he's done the same for me. I miss my best friend. Aw, that's really sad.
Yeah, it is. Is that where it ends?
Yeah, that's it.
So is he just getting cut off?
Yeah.
Being ghosted?
Well,
Yikes.
I've been there before.
So have I.
Yeah. I actually had a really similar thing where I actually lived with the guy like for most of the summer. Is a person you and I both know.
Yeah.
Is this the same person for you, or is this a different?
I mean, kind of, but I have a different one too.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Good. We have 2 stories. That's enough to finish out the podcast. No, so yeah, this guy and I were like super close, like my junior year of high school. And we were both lifeguards, and I hung out with him all the time. And then like senior year came around, and I was like, oh boy, I'm back in public school. This is gonna be great. And then you were back, and I was like, whoa, it's my boys. We're all together.
We're gonna have a crew.
Exactly. And then he was like, I'm gonna try and be popular this year. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, you know, whatever, like you'll be popular, like we'll hang out after school. I didn't realize popular meant not hanging out with me.
Ow.
And so like slowly he just started like not responding to my texts. I'm like, yo, what's good? Like, what's the plan? And he'd never get back to me. I'm like, oh,
yikes.
Okay. And he's like, oh yeah, sorry, I was hanging out with so and so. I was like, okay, when do you want to hang out? And then just, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, that doesn't hurt at all. It's fine. It's not like we were close or whatever. It's not like you owe me money.
Ouch.
It's whatever. It's insane. It was like one of those things too, where like looking back, it wasn't ever like a great friendship. It was one of those where, you know, when you go out to lunch and it's like, oh hey, you got me last time, I'll get you this time. That kind of stuff. I was like, oh yeah, we did that all the time. But I noticed afterwards, I was like, when it was my turn to pay, he'd always get like the gourmet shit, like you know, like always like go all out. But then when it was his turn to pay, I'd just get my regular thing. And then he'd be like going cheap, and so it got to where like, oh, I'm paying like, you know, $25 or whatever for both of our meals, but then he was paying like 15. Yeah. I'm like, oh,
that's kind of shitty.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right, well, whatever, you know, no big deal, I guess. I see who my real friends are, because then you came along.
That's me.
Yeah. And then you had no choice.
Nope.
Because there was no one else. It was just me and then a bunch of other shittier people, and I was just the least shitty option. But
everyone else had just like been in groups, and then I was like, can I join it? And they all had these entry barriers that I couldn't meet. And then you're like, I'm alone too.
And you're like, anyone. I'll take anyone.
Can I be your slave? I just need to be like on the bottom of someone's group.
Yeah. I'll do favors. My family's rich. I can get you AirPods. Oh goodness gracious. But yeah, what was yours like?
Well, the same person, I had been living in Texas for a few years, and then he actually came and visited me in Texas. We went to like Six Flags, and we had a great time, and we didn't talk a whole lot because I'm just not great at long distance relationships. But then I was moving back, and I was like, oh, that's dope. He texted me a couple times before I moved back, and then I got there, and me, you, and him hung out, and we're like, it was like 4th of July, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
And we were all talking, and like the next day, I was like, hey, I'm free this weekend if you want to like get some food or something. And I didn't get a response, and I was like, whatever. And then like I did another thing like a couple days later just to see, and then it didn't respond. I was like, oh, I'll just like let him do something, and then it just never happened. And I was like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, but then I was always like, hey, no, what are you up to?
Yeah, right.
Hey, you want to play Mortal Kombat?
For sure.
I promise I won't rage this time. I always raged. I always broke that promise.
No, but then when I was in Texas, I had a friend who was like a school friend, and we were great school friends, like almost best friends, but like we just never hung out outside school for whatever reason, and it wasn't a big deal. And I think we went to a movie once, and then that summer came around, and like I didn't know where he lived or anything, and I texted him once, and then I just never got responses, and I was like, okay. And then I came back to school next year, we're good friends again, but I was like, what the hell? Like,
you're just school friends.
Yeah, that's
See, I always hear about that. Like, and I think it's a bigger school thing. Because I actually kind of have that now. Where it's like, I have friends who I'm friends with at school, like in the classes. And it's more of like, oh, hey, I've seen you before. So, like, we will be closer in this class because we have familiarity and we've had classes before. But then it comes to, like, hanging out outside of class. I'm like, I mean, I'll take it or leave it. Sometimes I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And they're like, I'm busy. Cool.
I know what that means.
Yeah, it means I don't want to hang out. But I guess, okay, so then we should answer that question of, like, how do we get people to hang out?
I don't know. It's hard. It's just one of those things that's just gonna happen, and you just gotta, you gotta move on, and you gotta find someone else and let them disappoint you too.
There you go. Move on. There's always more fish in the sea.
Yeah, just know, like, in your heart that you did what you could. Like, you've sent these texts, you've been blocked on social media.
Yeah, don't, like, overbearingly, like, load into someone. I've accidentally done that before.
For sure.
Just, like, without thinking about it. Just like, oh, hey, like, whatever, sending memes. And then I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I guess that, like, I could have been kind of creepy. Like, they could have been sending a hint. And so I'll just, like, I'll back off because I always feel bad about that. And sometimes it's like, oh, no, I was, like, literally just busy. I never saw these. But other times it's like, I was probably a little bit too much. And so there's, like, that fine line you kind of got to learn. And it could be hard, but.
Yeah, and with this friendship, if he's going through some shit right now, like, give it a few months. Like, wait, see if he finds someone that, like, helps him pull him out of that. Yeah. And then you can go, like, hey, remember when we used to hang out? And then see if he wants to do it then. But
yeah, and it can suck for it to be, like, your closest friend and all that. And maybe level with him. I don't know. Like, you could send him one of those big, long texts just like, hey, been thinking about you. And it can be kind of hard to, like, get over, like, the male kind of stigma there.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just like, oh, yeah, we're brothers, we're bros. But, at the same time, that person may never realize there's an issue until you say something.
For sure.
And it sounds like they probably know. Like,
yeah.
They're like, there's something going on there. But, just, like, send them a message. It's, like, heartfelt. We just ran out of space on the card, but it's okay. And tell them you love them.
Yeah, for sure.
No homo. A little bit of homo.
Maybe.
But both are okay.
But it doesn't matter. It can be full homo and it's just fine.
It can be either way because, Noah, I love you and I appreciate you for being on this podcast. And I appreciate and love every single person who is listening to this podcast right now because you're not watching it. No one's watching it. The video ran out. But you guys should definitely subscribe, hit the notification bell if you guys want to see the next video we put out, or follow us on social media at humorish_TM, and email us at humorish.tm, at gmail.com to give us your questions. And we will see you guys next week.
Whoa.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.